Live from WRAL News Headquarters in Raleigh, your number one source for local news. WRAL News, coverage you can count on.
Just a tiny shower left. After that, we're going to see a good bit of sunshine this afternoon. We'll take a look at when we see the next round of rain as we get into the weekend.
5 people are hurt after a car crashed into this house behind me. Coming up, we'll show you a close-up of what this scene looked like early this morning.
And it's being called a day without childcare. Dozens of centers will close around the state. The Raleigh childcare providers are holding today to fight for more funding. A lot of parents scrambling to find different ways to keep their kids at home and supervised because a lot of these care centers are closing today. We will have that story coming up. Thanks for joining us on Fox 50. I'm Michelle McConaughey.
I'm Chris Levingood. We're following that story and some others. But first, we do want to check in with meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. A lot quieter today we saw yesterday, Elizabeth.
Absolutely. We take a look here at Dual Doppler 5000 radar. We're mostly dry. We had a few light showers around the Triangle area this morning. And the very last one just came through Chapel Hill and is fizzling out over the northern part of Jordan Lake. We take a look at Futurecast and you can see from here on out, we'll see partly cloudy skies. There may be some times where it's overcast, but for the most part, it'll stay dry for the remainder of the daylight hours. And hopefully you can get out and enjoy some sunshine because over the weekend, it doesn't look so great. Later in the evening, after dinner, we may see another stray shower up near the Virginia line. But again, that shower just came through Chapel Hill. You can see that the streets are damp right now. 66 is our temperature around the Triangle, so it's comfortable as you're heading out the door this morning. And we take a look at our temperatures through the afternoon. We do climb into the low 80s. Looking at a chance of rain again this weekend, starting late on Friday, Saturday and Sunday. 70% chance of afternoon and evening storms both days. And already on Saturday, we have a level 1 risk for severe storms. I'll walk you through the timeline and show you how much rain we'll see coming up. Ken?
All right, Elizabeth, we continue to check those road conditions, and things are beginning to dry out a bit. But as Elizabeth just mentioned, we just had a brief shower around the Chapel Hill area, and that's really showing up right near on this map. Of course, this is something that we'll keep showing you this morning as things dry out in the Triangle. I want to bring you up to date on a couple of crashes that just happened in the last 5 minutes or so. This one just happened on Hammond Road and Chapin Oak Road, and this other crash on Hammond Road, that one is near Tryon Road as well. We're going to continue to monitor both of them. Right now, not causing any delays on Hammond Road proper, but look for some police activity in that area as well. There's a crash that's really been a troubled spot for us this morning, well, for our morning commuters in this area. This one is a crash that's on the ramp right there on the 440 westbound lanes to the northbound lanes of the Capitol Boulevard. Right now, that was fire red a little while ago, but you can see it's clearing up nicely, which is a good thing, especially if you navigate that area. Elsewhere around the Triangle, we're seeing some major traffic backup on I-40. We're going to go and check these sensors and our cameras to see exactly what's going on out there.
All right, thank you, Ken. Breaking news in Raleigh, a portion of Pool Road is back open after a car smashed through a wall and into a home this morning. This happened about 2:30 this morning. Nick Perlin was there in the WRAL breaking news tracker. Police tell us 5 people were hurt in that crash.
5 people are in the hospital after a car flipped over and crashed into this home behind me, leaving behind serious damage. Now, I want to show you this video from the WRAL breaking news tracker and take a look at this. You're going to see this car flipped over on its side in between this wall and the home. We know 3 people who were taken to the hospital were pedestrians. The other 2 were actually inside that car. Raleigh police had this area of Pool Road near New Bern Avenue taped off for hours as they tried to remove the car. Police ended up opening up this area of Pool Road at around 5:30. Now, I'm still trying to find out how the people who were hurt are doing this morning. Once we have new information, we'll be sure to update you. In Raleigh, Nick Perlin, WRAL News.
Dozens of child care centers across North Carolina will be closed today. Their workers will instead be calling for more funding from state lawmakers. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey is in Raleigh this morning. Kelsey, this will inconvenience families, but child care providers say this needs to be done so they can stay open for the long term.
Chris, that's exactly what they say. And so many parents are probably scrambling to find childcare this morning before they head off to work. Nearly 50 childcare centers across the state will be closed today. And you should probably be able to see the setup here behind me for a rally that's scheduled for later this morning here at Halifax Mall as childcare workers are trying to draw attention to a looming crisis. This comes just days after childcare workers and families rallied in Durham. Families and providers are rallying today for state dollars. They're requesting this money because federal COVID funds will run out next month. A survey shows 29% of child care providers expect to close without this funding, leaving nearly 92,000 kids without a slot.
We're closing for the day so that we don't have to close for the future. So imagine what the consequences are for just shutting down for a day versus not having that childcare in your community.
And that rally is scheduled to start this morning at 10 o'clock. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
UNC's Board of Trustees will meet again today. They will be on alert for protesters after demonstrators disrupted a committee meeting yesterday. Police removed protesters who stood and chanted during that meeting. Board member Dave Bullock threatened to have them arrested. The UNC police chief said that nobody was arrested. Disrupting a public meeting is a Class 2 misdemeanor.
I think it's really important that students in particular, who are members of the campus community, have the opportunity to express themselves with free speech. But there's a time and a place.
And Bullock says this is the second time protesters have interrupted a university meeting. These meetings are coming 2 weeks after police broke up a pro-Palestinian encampment on campus.
A year ago, North Carolina passed a law increasing limits on abortions. That's why today, advocates will gather in Raleigh to talk about abortion rights. Senate Bill 20 bans most abortions after 12 weeks in North Carolina. Reproductive advocacy organizations will join patients and legislators. They're expected to talk about the importance of the upcoming election to protect abortion rights in North Carolina. That gathering starts at 10 a.m. in the Bicentennial Plaza in downtown Raleigh.
3 men are in jail after a chase in Nash County. Sky 5 flew over that scene in Nashville. Authorities say the driver crashed into 3 police vehicles and a deputy's vehicle. 1 police officer was taken to the hospital and is expected to be okay. Nashville police say it started when a man tried to use a fake check at Walmart. He ran away as officers arrived. He got in a car that was waiting in the parking lot, and that's when police started that chase. It ended when the car hit a police truck head on. We are working to learn the name of the 3 men who are in custody and the charges filed against them.
The National Weather Service confirms Tuesday's storms produced 4 tornadoes in the Carolinas, and 3 of them were in North Carolina. An EF0 tornado damaged 7 homes in Columbus County. Another EF0 caused damage near Baldwin-Elkins Road and Highway 211. And in Marion, South Carolina, an EF1 tornado hit with wind speeds up to 90 miles per hour. Over in Robinson County, an EF0 tornado was confirmed between Pembroke and Red Springs.
Today, work on a new part of the Complete 540 project will get started. The work will create a new highway connecting I-40 in Garner to I-87 in Knightdale. A groundbreaking ceremony will happen at 2 o'clock this afternoon on White Oak Road in Garner. More than 10 miles of highway will be built. It'll include exits at White Oak Road, US 70 Business, Rock Quarry Road, Auburn Knightdale Road, and Pool Road. Once it's done, it'll complete the 540 loop around Raleigh. This portion of the highway is expected to be open by 2028.
The Carolina Panthers 2024 schedule is out, and they will be the only team in the NFL without a primetime game this season. The Panthers announced their schedule with an artistic video on social media. You can see it there on your screen. Players painted portraits of each other that were used in the graphics announcing the games. The Panthers will start the season on the road against the New Orleans Saints. Their first home game will be in Week 2 against the LA Chargers. Some of these designs, keep playing football, guys. They'll play in Germany against the New York Giants on November 10th. You can find the full schedule on WRALSportsFan.com.
They had some fun with that. Well, tonight, the Carolina Hurricanes, they have a chance to tie things up between themselves and the New York Rangers. PNC Arena is the site of today's showdown in Game 6 of their second-round Stanley Cup playoff series. Puck drop for tonight's game is at 7 o'clock. If you'd like to go in person, we've checked Ticketmaster. The cheapest seats available are $140. Be sure to watch our exclusive post-game show after the game. We'll have locker room reaction, insight from Casey Hintz, and from former Canes player Shane Willis in studio. It all gets started at 11:25 tonight.
Uber is rolling out a new feature. We will explain how it could help you as you take care of loved ones with certain needs.
Plus, it's an unexpected side effect of weight loss drugs. The test trials the makers of Ozempic are running that could help battle alcoholism and liver disease.
We had a few showers early this morning in the Triangle area. Those are clearing out. We'll see some sunshine this afternoon. But we get into the weekend and it's wet again. I'll walk you through and show you when the driest periods will be.
Well, ain't this pretty as we're looking outside live at Fayetteville on a very nice morning after the sun has risen. A little quieter today than we saw the other day, but things are shaping up to be different this weekend. You're watching WRAL News, available on Hulu and the WRAL app on your TV or your streaming device. Toss things down to Elizabeth Gardner, who's been tracking your weather forecast, not just for today, but throughout the weekend.
I've got a little more sunshine to share with you. Look at Goldsboro looking gorgeous with partly cloudy skies. And over here in Fayetteville at our newsroom, you can see that dappled sunshine on the building. And it's a little bit different around Apex and Chapel Hill. Still some cloud cover. We had a shower roll through just a very small part of the triangle this morning. And it's still a little damp in Apex and cloudy. And Chapel Hill just saw a shower about 15 or 20 minutes ago, so it's still a little bit wet there. But that shower is completely out of here now. And that's going to be the end of it. We'll see partly cloudy skies through the afternoon with maybe a few periods where we're a little cloudy. Notice by the time we get to the evening, there's 8:45, 9 o'clock. Could be an isolated shower that pops up again, especially in our northern counties. None of that's likely to be severe or cause any problems, but we added a 30% chance to this evening tonight just to cover the bases. For Friday, we'll see increasing chances of showers and thunderstorms mid to late afternoon, and then Saturday and Sunday afternoon and evening look wet. If we take a look at Futurecast for Friday, starting in the morning tomorrow, there may be a bit of cloud cover and then some sunshine around lunchtime. And then mid to late afternoon, here comes the rain. Some of that is likely to be heavy at times. It could be a very messy evening commute for Friday. And if you had any outdoor plans on Friday night, it's probably going to be pretty wet. We roll it out to Saturday morning. This is 8 a.m. And Saturday at lunchtime showing just a couple of holes in the clouds. This is our high resolution model, and it's not too wet to start with up until the early part of the afternoon. But then it looks like we'll likely have some showers and storms. We do have a level 1 risk for Saturday. Damaging winds, heavy rain, some hail, all possible. Our exposure is this weekend, and it is looking wet, especially in the afternoon and evening both days. You can go early. We're proud sponsors. A bunch of your WRAL friends will be there emceeing some of the stages. 79 Saturday, 69 on Sunday. Again, it's not looking great during the afternoon and evening. From now through late Sunday, we could see an additional 1 to 2 inches of rain. We saw a bunch of rain already this week, so we continue to be looking pretty good on rain. No matter what you have planned over the weekend, keep checking in because we will end up with a lot more information between now and Saturday and Sunday. We'll continue to tweak that timeline. Currently, it looks like it'll be fairly dry to start next week, Ken.
Yeah, Elizabeth, we continue to monitor those damp conditions out on the roadways that you just mentioned. The green behind the sensors here shows the things are relatively drying out, but just those little damp conditions in parts of Apex that Elizabeth just mentioned. Now, we want to isolate the traffic sensors and show you exactly what's going on in terms of the crashes we're seeing out there this morning. Most of the crashes you're seeing on a traffic map are happening on local roads, but look at this. You see some major congestion building in the westbound lanes of I-40, particularly the south side of the Beltline on Lake Wheeler Road, going out towards Jones Franklin Road as well. We are seeing some bumper-to-bumper traffic on the eastbound lanes of I-40 as well in that same vicinity. So keep that in mind if this is part of your morning commute. A couple of crashes we do want to tell you about this morning. This one on Capitol Boulevard, the northbound lanes. It happened right there on the ramp. It's cleared up quite a bit, but you can see the northbound side of the Beltline was still having some issues there as well. We keep you posted here in the WRAL Traffic Center.
Yeah, busy morning out there today. Thank you, Ken. The mother of a woman who was shot in Hope Mills this week is thanking the man she says saved her daughter's life. Authorities say Anaya Stansell's ex-boyfriend, Terrence Kerr, broke into her home early Tuesday morning and shot her. Her mother says Stansell had a gun to protect herself, but hasn't learned how to use it. She says a man who was protecting her, Anthony David, used the gun to shoot Kerr. David was also shot.
Grateful for him being there. I hate that the situation happened the way it did, and he ended up getting hurt also.
Both Stansell and David have been released from the hospital, but Kerr is in the hospital in critical condition. He's looking at an attempted murder charge.
The Prime Minister of Slovakia remains in very serious condition this morning after an assassination attempt. That's according to the hospital where he's being treated. Someone shot Prime Minister Robert Fico 5 times during a political event yesterday. The hospital says that an operation to save him went well. He was elected last fall in a pro-Russian platform. The gunman is in custody, but the motive is not clear. No one else was hurt in that attack.
Today, New Jersey Senator Bob Menendez's co-defendants are expected to give opening statements in the bribery and corruption trial against him. The prosecution and defense gave their statements yesterday. The prosecution accused him of taking thousands of dollars in payoffs, including gold bars and a Mercedes convertible. Menendez's attorney told the jury he was, quote, not an agent of the Egyptian government, but an American patriot who took no bribes. Menendez previously said the thousands of dollars in cash the FBI found in his home was money he took out of the bank for over 30 years, that is. His defense team says his wife Nadine is responsible for the gold bars found in the closet.
At least a dozen pro-Palestinian protesters were taken into custody after police broke up an encampment on a California college campus. Police clashed with protesters last night at UC Irvine. The university says it called in police after protesters surrounded a lecture hall on campus. The schools say that the protest is still going on. All campus classes and other activities today will be held remotely.
The first cruise will depart from Baltimore since the bridge collapsed there 2 months ago. Royal Caribbean International says it will resume cruises from Baltimore later this month. The Vision of the Seas will depart Baltimore on May 25th for a trip to Bermuda. The Coast Guard has reopened daily limited access for commercial vehicles as salvage operations continue at the collapse site.
A billionaire is looking into buying TikTok. Former owner of the LA Dodgers, Frank McCourt, says he is recruiting investors to purchase the business. McCourt says that if the sale is made, he will look to restructure the app to give users more control over their data. The businessman says he is not on the app himself, but his businesses use it. The bid comes after President Biden signed a law last month forcing TikTok to find a new owner or be banned in the U.S.
Law & Order actress Angie Harmon is suing Instacart and a former shopper for the platform. This is because the shopper is accused of shooting and killing her dog during a delivery to her home in Charlotte. Harmon is suing the shopper for trespassing, invasion of privacy, and negligence, and she's also suing Instacart for negligence as well. The company says the shopper has been permanently banned from its service.
Apple will soon let you scroll on your devices using only your eyes. The latest iOS software update will include that accessibility feature designed to help people with physical disabilities navigate their devices easier. The update will also include music haptics, which turns taps and vibrations into sounds, and a feature will reduce motion sickness for passengers using an iPhone or iPad in a moving car. The company says the new update will be available later this year.
A new Uber feature could help more than 50 million adult Americans who identify as a caregiver. 1 in 4 Americans are responsible for the care of a senior parent, spouse, or child with special needs. According to AARP, family caregivers are spending more than $7,000 a year on out-of-pocket costs. The new Uber feature will let a caregiver book rides, order groceries, and purchase medical supplies for their loved ones.
I was on the phone with my mom, and we were talking about some of the things that she needed help with, caring for my grandparents. She needed to get them places, and she needed to get stuff delivered to them, like meals. And so we realized this product could have a powerful impact for folks like my mom.
Uber says that it will start accepting customers' benefit cards to help pay for eligible rides and deliveries. This feature is set to be released this summer.
An unexpected effect of the weight loss drug Ozempic, less of a desire to drink alcohol. It's a feeling described by thousands of people taking these weight loss medicines. Ozempic's maker says it intends to study the phenomenon, possibly as a treatment for people with alcoholism and liver disease. The company announced a new clinical trial on alcohol-related liver disease, and the trial aims to enroll about 240 participants and is slated to begin May 20th.
Instead of a speculum, women have a new, more comfortable way to check for cervical cancer. The FDA has approved the first self-test for samples to be screened at a doctor's office or urgent care facility. The majority of cervical cancers developed from HPV, and regular screenings can help identify risks for women. Cervical cancer kills roughly 4,000 women every year in the United States, according to the CDC. Planet Fitness is bringing back its free workout passes for teens this summer. The high school summer pass will return for the 4th year starting June 1st. That's for members between 14 to 19 years old. Teens will have free access to fitness trainers as well as free workouts and fitness plans on the app. They just need their parents' permission to sign up. The program runs through August 31st.
The Queen of Country is teaming up with Krispy Kreme. Dolly Parton now has her own donut collection. The North Carolina-based donut shop announced the Dolly Southern Sweets donut collection this week. There's the Dolly Dazzler, the chocolate cream pie, the banana pudding pie, and the peachy keen cobbler. The donuts are available in participating stores starting this Saturday. Yes, Dolly, we love it.
I guarantee if you just sold Dolly donuts, they'd sell like hotcakes.
Look at the butterfly on that one. It's so cute.
Yeah, that's cool. All right, so we do it just a little bit better is the tagline for the newest convenience store now in North Carolina. The state's first Wawa opens today in the Outer Banks. How the company plans to expand with another 10 locations this year.
And multiple people are hurt after a car crashes into a home in Raleigh. What we're learning from crews on the scene this morning.
As you get into your car, tune to WRAL News Plus on your radio. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM. In Durham, 96.5 FM. And everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
Good morning and happy Thursday. Time now is 8:26. I'm Michelle McConaughey. Elizabeth Gardner is showing us beautiful skies over Sanford. A lot of clouds in the sky, but those are going to clear up.
Isn't this gorgeous? We have a little blue sky. You can see sunshine here. Still a few lingering clouds in a couple of spots, but we'll see partly cloudy skies for the bulk of the day. You can see the cloud cover, the coverage of clouds across the sky really dropping off nicely as we get through the day. So at lunchtime, it's about 20% coverage of the sky. It's going to be a pleasant afternoon for some exercise. Temperatures will climb into the low 80s, and we are looking at fairly low humidity. We are still on track for a fairly wet weekend. Afternoon showers and thunderstorms Saturday and Sunday, Ken.
Another check of those road conditions, Elizabeth. Things are definitely drying out a bit. You can see the green behind the sensors right now. That's showing the remaining damp roads that we're seeing around the triangle and surrounding communities. If we isolate the traffic map this morning, boy, talk about a troubled spot this morning. This is just morning congestion in the westbound lanes of I-40 this morning, all the way to Cary and going out toward the westbound side and going out to Durham. Also, we're seeing the eastbound bumper-to-bumper traffic in the eastbound lanes as well. Just keep that in mind if you're getting ready to head out this morning.
Thank you, Ken. Part of Pool Road in Raleigh is back open after a car crashed into a home. It happened just after 2 o'clock this morning near the intersection of Newbern Avenue. 5 people were hurt and taken to the hospital. 3 were pedestrians. 2 others were in that car. No word on what caused that crash. Next on Fox 50, the Carolina Hurricanes have one more chance to keep their Stanley Cup playoff dreams alive. And coming up next on Today, Uber launching a new service for caregivers.
Shot in 4K ultra high definition. Your number one source for local news. WRAL News. Coverage you can count on.
We have a few clouds drifting by this morning. We should see a good bit of sunshine through the afternoon, but it still looks like a fairly wet weekend. I'll show you the details.
Officials are responding to an accident on Lizard Lick Road in Wendell. You can see behind me, we believe it involved a school bus. Coming up, I'm going to tell you everything we know so far.
Some parents are waking up this morning without an option for childcare. Why nearly 50 childcare centers across the state are closed today as childcare workers are rallying in Raleigh.
And the Carolina Hurricanes have more to do here tonight. One more shot they do to keep their Stanley Cup dreams alive. How the team will make history tonight if they get one more win against the New York Rangers. A lot of people crossing their fingers because tonight it's about to go down. Thanks for joining. Thanks for joining us this morning here on WRAL News at Fox 50. I'm Chris Lovigan.
And I'm Michelle McConaughey. Yeah, we'll get to that game coming up. But first, we have to talk about the weather. I think Elizabeth used the perfect word. The clouds are just drifting on by. You can see them behind us at Dix Park. Elizabeth, it's kind of pretty.
It's gorgeous there. You can see some blue sky there, some of those clouds. Not a lot of blue showing up right here in Durham at the moment, but these clouds are going to continue to drift on by and clouds will break up. It's going to be a fine afternoon. 66 degrees is our current temperature as you're heading out the door. Check out Futurecast and you can see some overcast spots and some sunshine breaking through between now and lunchtime. Even later on this afternoon, we may see some periods where it's cloudy on and off, but generally today's going to be the nicest day that we have in our forecast until maybe next Monday or Tuesday. So hopefully you can get outside and enjoy it. We had cloudy skies first thing this morning. The coverage of the sky continues to drop off in terms of our cloud cover, looking at lunchtime at about 20% of the sky covered in clouds. So it should be beautiful. Lunchtime temperatures are in the mid 70s. We'll see highs in the low 80s for this afternoon. Again, hopefully you can enjoy it because check out the weekend. Saturday and Sunday, we have a 70% chance of afternoon and evening thunderstorms. And Saturday, we already have a level 1 risk for severe storms. I'm going to walk through with the timeline coming up in just a bit. Ken?
8:32 this morning, checking the roadways this morning. Don't be alarmed. You're seeing all these crashes that popped up on our sensors. What I really want to bring your attention to is the major congestion that's happening on these westbound lanes of I-40, mainly the south side of the Beltline. If you're coming in from Zebulon or Knightdale in that area, you might want to take the north side of the Beltline. Even though it's backing up just a little bit, it's not as severe as this south side of the Beltline. We are seeing some bumper-to-bumper traffic in the eastbound lanes of I-40 as well. So keep that in mind if you're about to head out. We're also following some breaking news. Nick Perlin in the WRAL breaking news tracker on the scene right now of a bus crash in Wendell. Nick, set the scene for us and what's happening now.
Well, Ken, right now, officials are on the scene trying to make sure that everybody who was involved in this crash are okay. When I got here, I did see that this crash possibly involves a school bus, and one of the cars had a lot of damage to the back of it. I'm going to get behind the camera and show you everything I can. I am pretty far back. There is a tow truck here to help get rid of, to help move that car, rather, that was badly damaged. But right now, we're on Lizard Lick Road near Highway 64, and you can see they have this area blocked off. There's some cars here that have been waiting for minutes to try to get around this accident. This is a 2-road street, and they only have that one area. As I pan back over, they only have this one part of the road open. So this is going to cause a lot of delays if you're coming through this area. Right now, we're still trying to make sure that everybody is okay. I did see kids off that school bus, and officials were checking on them to make sure none of them were badly hurt. So we're going to keep asking to know if anybody was hurt in this crash, and once we have more information, I'll be sure to update you. Live in Wendell, Nick Perlin, WRAL News.
And 5 people are hurt after a car crashed through a wall and into a home. It happened on Pool Road just before 2:30 this morning. The 5 people hurt were taken to the hospital. We do not know if anyone was inside that home. No word on what caused that crash. And today, families across the state are looking for childcare as dozens of facilities are closed. Their workers will be in Raleigh demanding lawmakers provide more funding. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey explains why childcare centers say they need this funding to stay open.
So many parents are probably scrambling to find childcare this morning before they head off to work. Nearly 50 childcare centers across the state are closed today. And you should be able to see that they're setting up here behind me for a rally that's scheduled to happen here at Halifax Mall as childcare workers are trying to draw attention to a looming crisis in childcare. This comes just days after childcare workers and families rallied in Durham. Families and providers are rallying today for state dollars. They're requesting this money because federal COVID funds will run out next month. A survey shows 29% of childcare providers expect to close without this funding, leaving nearly 92,000 kids without a slot.
We're closing for the day so that we don't have to close for the future. So imagine what the consequences are for just shutting down for a day versus not having that childcare in your community.
The rally is scheduled to start this morning at 10 o'clock. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News in Raleigh.
UNC's Board of Trustees will meet again today, and they'll be on alert for protesters after demonstrators disrupted a committee meeting yesterday. You can see there in the video police removing protesters who stood and chanted during the meeting. Board member David Bullock, he threatened to have them arrested. The UNC police chief said no one was arrested, though. Disrupting a public meeting is a Class 2 misdemeanor, and Bullock says this is the second time protesters have interrupted a university meeting. These meetings are happening 2 weeks after police broke up a pro-Palestinian encampment on campus. And this morning, Michael Cohen will be back on the witness stand in former President Donald Trump's hush money trial. The defense will continue its cross-examination of Cohen. Prosecutors are trying to prove Trump paid to suppress information about his alleged sexual relationship with adult film actress Stormy Daniels. Earlier this week, Cohen told jurors that he repeatedly lied about hush money payments made to Daniels in order to protect Trump.
A Cary man now charged in a chase that ended in a rollover crash in Raleigh. We first brought you the story as breaking news yesterday morning. John Joseph Leak McLeod faces several traffic violations, including felony fleeing and eluding arrest and possession of marijuana. Highway Patrol says he tried to avoid a licensed checkpoint by Garner police. Officers tried to stop him, but he kept driving and threw something out the window. A Wake County deputy picked up the chase, and that's when Leak McLeod crashed. 3 people were taken to the hospital.
Now, those 2 chases are the latest of several in our area. The number of pursuits involving the Highway Patrol has more than doubled in recent years. In 2019, there were more than 450 chases, and in 2022, that number jumped to more than 1,050. In a special report, WRAL Investigates looked at the difficult decision officers make every day as to whether they should pursue a suspect. You can find that report on WRAL.com.
Chinese leader Xi Jinping and Russia's Vladimir Putin are meeting in Beijing for a 2-day visit as Russian troops advance in Ukraine. This is the 4th time Putin and Xi have met face-to-face since Russia invaded Ukraine in February of 2022. The 2 countries have strengthened ties since the war began. Xi said that China-Russian relations have stood the test of a changing international landscape.
Tonight, the Carolina Hurricanes will try to get one step closer to history. They're hosting the New York Rangers in Game 6 of their second-round Stanley Cup playoff series. Now, the Canes have won 2 in a row after losing the first 3 games of the series. If they win tonight, that is, and force a Game 7, well, they would be the 10th team in the NHL in history to do that. Puck drop for tonight's game is at 7. Be sure to watch our exclusive post-game show after the game. That gets started at 11:25 tonight.
And Jeff Hogan of the WRAL Live Center, following along with some live pictures out of Galveston, Texas right now. The bridge is just out of view where a barge slammed into it yesterday, and on cue, our affiliate is moving that camera there. I've been monitoring this. They've been showing the damage on that bridge. You saw it just went past all of that. Not sure if this is headed out right now, but showing the entire span of that bridge over into Galveston there where a barge slammed into it. It's been leaking oil. The U.S. Coast Guard has been called in, helping to contain the spill. Texas Department of Transportation engineers are there. This is a bit futile. Our affiliate helicopter seems to be on the move at this point right now, but there is a section of that bridge, as I was watching from a distance there, section of that bridge is missing. I've seen a couple of service vehicles going over it, but it is closed right now until further notice.
All right, thank you, Jeff. Today, the first Wawa in North Carolina will open. The popular convenience store and gas station will open its first North Carolina location today in Kill Devil Hills. The company is expected to build 10 locations here in North Carolina by the end of the year. And Wawa also wants to have 90 locations over the next 10 years, including in Fayetteville, Wilson, and Goldsboro. Wawa is best known for its fresh and built-to-order food, particularly Michelle's favorite, hoagies.
Love it so much. All right, coming up after Miss USA stepped down due to problems within the organization, a new woman takes the crown. Meet the new Miss USA and how she says she will handle her new role.
Plus, NFL teams across the country had some fun announcing the upcoming season schedule. How they poked fun at the Panthers in those announcement videos, we will show you.
And we'll take you live out to Franklinton this morning. Look at this beautiful shot there. Coming up after the break, meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner lays out the chances for rain this weekend.
Got a beautiful morning in Goldsboro as you're waking up this morning. If you haven't left for work, we're going to give you a little look at what your forecast can expect to be here with meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. Elizabeth, it's going to be mostly cloudy, but still looking pretty good today.
We're starting to see some sunshine breaking out across a good bit of the viewing area. We did have our cold front move through last night, and a couple of showers popped up very early this morning. Those are all gone at this point, and you can see on Futurecast some sunshine trying to break out. We'll see more of that later this afternoon. And there may be a time at any point where we have some cloud cover across the area, and late this evening after dinner time there could be an isolated shower or thunderstorm that comes across the border from Virginia, and you can see that again pretty late in the evening. North Hill's looking pretty. Look at that gorgeous blue sky, but still some clouds lingering across our area, and we're seeing views like that across a good bit of the region. 66 as you head out the door. It's going to be a nice day today. 81 in Raleigh, 80 in Durham, and 82 for the high in Fayetteville this afternoon under partly cloudy skies. We check out the Canes watch parties. Gosh, that's going to be super popular. I know a lot of folks are excited for that game. If you're headed out to tailgate early, at 4 o'clock, 80 degrees, at 6 o'clock, 79. Now, as you come out of the arena, it is possible that there would be an isolated shower or thunderstorm. Temperatures will be in the upper 60s, but tailgating, for the most part, looks pretty good. Tolerable humidity, looking at 62 for the dew point, so that puts us kind of middle of the road. But we are looking at some sticky conditions over the weekend, and we do see our dew point dropping for Monday and Tuesday, feeling a little bit more comfortable. But we have rain in the forecast for the weekend. Starting tomorrow, mid to late afternoon, scattered storms. That continues Saturday and Sunday afternoon. Both the weekend days have a 70% chance, and on Saturday we already have a level 1 risk for severe storms. So it's not great news for our festivals. The Bembe Cultural Arts Festival in Durham starts at 1 and lasts until 7. And toward the end of the festival, certainly we have the potential for some scattered storms. So download the WRAL app and you can set it for alerts. It'll let you know if there are any severe storms headed your way. Of course, Artsplosure in downtown Raleigh is this weekend. Same story there. Those afternoon and evening thunderstorms will likely be with us. And we could see some heavy rain between now and Sunday. We could see rain totals of 1 to 2 inches. Next week, we're looking a little drier, at least for a while.
And back here at the Live Center, we have an update to a story we've been following all morning long as Slovakia's prime minister was shot. He's in the hospital. He's had surgeries. He was shot 5 times in an assassination attempt. But after a meeting with the Interior Ministry and Defense Department, they've come together and said that it was a lone wolf attacker. He was taken into custody. You see him on the ground there shortly after the shooting took place. Originally, the investigation steered them toward a clear political motivation of Robert Fico. Of shooting him, but now they have met and they have said that Fico, as he has been stabilized and is recovering, the suspect charged as a lone wolf did not belong to any political groups. That is what they have uncovered latest this morning.
Significant update there this morning. Thank you, Jeff. Look at your screen. These dogs are in a veterinarian's care this morning. It's a far cry from where they were found Monday, inside a zipped up suitcase. Now there's hope that they will have a better life. Someone left the dogs in the suitcase outside the Cleveland Fire Department, according to authorities. Firefighters called the Johnston County Animal Shelter, and right now they're in quarantine there. The shelter's director says that he can't imagine why they were abandoned in the first place.
I don't understand why people do it. All they have to do is come to the shelter and walk in the building, and we'll take the animals.
Time at all. The shelter has gotten dozens of calls from all over the country from people. They all want to help, including from different rescue groups. Now, the shelter's animal cruelty investigator is trying to find the person responsible for abandoning the dogs.
This morning, a North Carolina-based ministry is doing its part to send critical resources to the flooded region in Brazil. Samaritan's Purse is airlifting their 4th relief flight in a week to Brazil from their response center in Greensboro. So far, they have sent more than 65 tons of items like water filters, blankets, hygiene kits, solar lights, and more. And that flight was scheduled to take off at about 6 o'clock this morning.
One of the first black undergrads to attend UNC has died. Ralph Frazier graduated from Hillside High School in Durham in 1955. That happened 1 year after the landmark Supreme Court decision in Brown v. Board of Education. Frazier, his brother, and another man applied to UNC, but they were rejected because of their race. The university said the ruling did not apply to higher education. So the 3 men sued, and they won. They started classes together in 1955. Frazier attended UNC until 1958 when he joined the Army. Ralph Frazier was 85 years old.
New this morning, there's a new Miss USA a week after the woman who held the crown stepped down. Miss Hawaii Savannah Gankowitz was crowned Miss USA in a ceremony in Hawaii last night. She was the runner-up to Noelia Voigt, who relinquished last week. Voigt cited mental health issues and problems within the organization.
Well, I empathize with the former title holders, but I took this as a job and a responsibility to really help make a positive impact within this organization that I truly believe in.
Gankowitz said that her background as a certified mental health responder helps her understand the importance of prioritizing your own well-being and advocating for others.
More people watched Caitlin Clark's first WNBA game on ESPN than any other game in league history. The network says an average of 2.1 million televisions were tuned into the game Tuesday night. That's more than 500,000 more than the previous record set in 2004. The Indiana Fever home opener tonight against the New York Liberty will be streamed on Amazon Prime. Meanwhile, Chicago Sky rookie Angel Reese, she made her WNBA debut last night. The former LSU star had an impressive first game against the Dallas Wings. She finished with 12 points, 8 rebounds, and 1 assist, but that was not enough for the Chicago Sky. They lost 79-87, and they will play the Dallas Wings again on Saturday.
Victoria's Secret's fashion show is returning to the runway. The fashion brand says it will bring back its show this fall for the first time since 2018. Victoria's Secret says that it heard customers' concerns and promises the show will still deliver the glamour, the fashion, and entertainment, but through a powerful modern lens that reflects what the company is today. The show was canceled in 2019 following criticism of its lack of inclusivity on the runway.
A beloved Adam Sandler film is getting a sequel, and a John Wick spinoff is in the works. Here's Kristen Goodwin with the latest in Hollywood Nation.
I am Conan.
O'Brien gets a renewal. Sandler tees up a sequel, and the John Wick universe expands in the Hollywood Nation. A new John Wick spin-off is in the works. Lionsgate announced the film will center on Donnie Yen's character, Kane, from John Wick Chapter 4. Yen will reprise his role as the blind assassin when production starts in Hong Kong next year.
All right, give me a club.
Adam Sandler is bringing Happy Gilmore back to the golf course. Netflix announced a sequel to the 1996 comedy is in the works, with Sandler reprising his iconic role as the short-fused golfer. Christopher McDonald will also return to play Happy's rival, Shooter McGavin.
You're making it so weird.
That's what I do.
Conan O'Brien will continue his adventures around the world. The comedian's travel show Conan O'Brien Must Go has been renewed for season 2. The series follows O'Brien on a journey across the globe, visiting fans he met through his spin-off podcast, Conan O'Brien Needs a Fan.
You're great.
Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande forge an unlikely friendship in today's First Looks. Universal unveiled the official trailer to John M. Chu's adaptation of the Tony-winning musical Wicked, featuring Erivo playing Elphaba and Grande as Glinda. The film, which tells the origin story of the Witches of Oz, will be released in 2 parts, with the first movie arriving to theaters November 27th.
Don't be afraid.
A lot of people looking forward to that movie. That was Kristen Goodwin reporting.
And Bridgerton fans have some binge watching to do. The first new episodes in more than 2 years dropped on Netflix at about 3 o'clock this morning. The new season focuses on the love story of Colin and Penelope. 4 episodes are out now, and more will be coming out in June.
Let's keep talking about Netflix, because this holiday season, you'll be able to watch the NFL Christmas Day games on Netflix. A 3-year partnership starts this year. On Christmas, the streaming service will air 2 games. Next year and in 2026, it plans to stream at least 1. The NFL already partners with most streaming platforms, as you know. That includes Thursday night games on Amazon Prime and the Sunday Ticket on YouTube TV. And the NFL schedule release isn't just a list of games. It's a huge event for the team's social media managers.
Yeah, the Washington Commanders played Is It Cake in their schedule release video. And for the Panthers, this cat was not cake. The Kansas City Chiefs played on the hydraulic press trend. That includes some little foam Panthers, and the Chargers took Keep Pounding to another level in their video that was modeled after The Sims.
Which is my favorite, because video games on brand.
I love The Sims.
Who doesn't
I'm
love
not
The
a
Sims?
huge video game person, but if you put The Sims in front of me, you have me. I'm all there.
That makes me very happy, Michelle. Hey, before we go to break, here's a look at your winning lottery numbers, and we'll get back with another check on weather and traffic in just a bit. We'll see you.